Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here, and today we'll be taking an updated look at FireFall. This is a game that I've played quite a bit in the past, and I really enjoyed my time with it. Luckily though, there's been some major overhauls to the game, and I'm actually joined today by Dave Williams. He's a senior designer at Red 5 Studios. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Dave?
Hi, everybody. I've been here at Red 5 Studios for, oh goodness, I guess I'm closing in on 7 years now, pretty much from the beginning of the project.
I was going to say, is that how long FireFall's been in development?
That's true, yeah. FireFall's been in development for quite a while. I mean, most big MMOs tend to be in development a long time, and FireFall is no exception to that.
Yeah, just I guess the only difference is how early in development the studios say, hey, we're making this game. But, you know, things seem to be coming along quite nicely, and since I last played a few months ago, there's been a major update, and that's actually what Dave and I are going to try to cover some of today, just some of the new systems and features that have been added to the game. So we're here in Copacabana, the lovely town, the center of it all, and is there anything in town that we want to...
town.
Yeah. So what do we want to take a look at first, Dave?
Honestly, you know, we can do this any order you like. There's a number of new things to talk about. You know, since we're here in Copacabana, it might make sense to run over to the Battleframe garage and talk about the new Battleframe and progression system that we did some changes to, some, I don't know, you know, major changes, but at least some significant changes.
Yeah, and actually that's one of the first things I noticed. I logged in the other day just to take a look at this before we did this recording, and I think you've done changes, like overhauls to the Battleframe system a couple of times in the past, right?
Yeah, we started off with a pretty straightforward leveling system. It was something we knew everyone would understand and simple to follow. What we found was that we and the players didn't really like how restrictive it was. Every level, you know, when you'd level up, you'd get the next thing, and the players didn't really have any choice about how they were progressing their character and progressing their frame. And so we switched over to a system with tiers, and you would start with each of the 5 basic frames, and you would and it had a tech tree, and you know, choose how you advance through the tech tree, and eventually upgrade to the next tier and some new battle frames. And the problem we had there was, and again, this was another place where the players were giving us a lot of feedback, and they wanted more control over what order they wanted to unlock things. And you know, we were seeing in the PvP, we had queuing problems because there weren't enough people at particular queues, and people wanted to be able to queue with their buddies who were in different tiers of battle frames. And so what we decided was we wanted to change up the system to have a single tier. All of the battle frames are, you know, are all sort of essentially considered equivalent, and that's going to help us reduce the total amount of vertical progression that happens in the game, which means, you know, we don't have to split players up as much. You know, if a buddy joins up the game and you've already advanced your battle frame a bit, you're still going to be able to play with that guy without a lot of trouble. Awesome.
So why don't we just go ahead and quickly take a look at the new battle frame system. So last time I showed this game to my viewers, the system that was in place, there were 2 tiers of each type of battle frame, which I think there are 5. Is that correct?
There were going to be 5 tiers total. That was the plan. At the time, we only had 2 tiers that were, you know, spec'd out.
Right.
With battle frames, and what we've done now is, like I said, we flattened it. There's just a single tier for all the frames, but there are tiers with sort of within each frame. So each frame does have advancement possibilities.
Right.
And the constraint system that we had before is now the focal point of the advancement system. So when you want to improve your battle frame, you're going to open up the station there, and you're going to see the 3 constraints immediately there on the left. That's the weight, capacity of the frame, the power of the frame, and then the CPU cores that are available.
Right, and how this is different from the last time I played. The last time I played, I started off, I'm playing as the assault frame, and I specialized all the way through to the end until I got a tiger claw, and it was split up into sort of these three branches: a center one, a top one, and a middle one, and I could pick different weapons that I had access to and different abilities. I believe they were called modules, is what they were.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so it's much different now, because now I'm spending XP on these boosts. It was for weight, power, and what was the last one? CPU. So what's the distinguishing factors in each one of these here?
So basically the way it works is, now instead of having to follow that tech tree and unlocking things in a specific order, and only the things that are on the tech tree are you allowed to unlock for that particular frame, now there's a wide variety of and in fact, all of those modules, whether it's a jump jet module so you can fly higher and longer, servos so you can run faster, jump higher, weapons, ability modules to give you different abilities, all of those different modules, all those different components are available to you from the very beginning, right? And so, but they all have constraint costs. Extra plating so that you have more health or more regen is going to carry a lot of extra weight, and so you're going to want to unlock some extra weight capacity for your battle frame so that when you go over and grab that new module, or you make a new module over in the crafting system, you're gonna have that weight available on your frame, so it doesn't slow you down too much.
Right. So now the abilities are basically locked behind the three things: the mobility, the power, and the CPUs, depending on which modules that you want. That's very, very, very interesting. But there's still sort of the specification system, because like when I logged in, I still have my Tiger Claw specialized assault battle frame now, the second tier of it.
That's right. And now when you go into PvP, those frames are all actually preset, right? You'd make all these upgrades and you'd specialize for PvP, and it gave us these wide ranges of power in PvP, and it was just so impossible to balance. So what we've done is we've changed the PvP system to be a little more of a sports-based system, where we have a pre-prepared battle frame for each type, right? So if you love that Firecat and you take a Firecat to the into PvP, your Firecat and my Firecat are going to be exactly identical.
Right. Now, so just for the sake of balance in a competitive scene, there's that separation between, I guess, what we call PvE and PvP.
And that lets us actually take that advancement to another level when it comes to the PvE side, because frankly the monsters don't care if you're unbalanced.
Right. All right.
Personally, for some reason, but monsters don't care so much.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, I think some people would definitely like to see some action. So is there anything, any new world events that we'd like to go take a look at before we look at any more of the hardcore systems like the crafting?
Sure, absolutely. So if you pull up your map, hit M, pull up your map, you're going to see, and it's really important to note that FireFall is an open world dynamic game, right? This is not your World of Warcraft where, you do mission number 1, and that when you finish mission number 1, that gives you mission number 2, and then you do that one. You just follow the chain down and down the line. FireFall is an open world. There's all sorts of things happening, and you're going to be able to react to those things, choose what types of activities you want to perform. So right now, around our characters, we see I see 3 purple events, and those little purple markers are little events that are happening nearby. It looks like there's a Crash Thumper a little west of us. There's a Crash LGV, this little north, and northeast of us is one of our new encounters that's available now, called an Aries mission. And these are little missions that pop up at different spots in the world, and there's usually 5 to 10 of them running at any one time. That one up just, like I said, a little northeast of us, it's only got 1 tick mark, so this is not a particularly difficult one. So it might be a good one for us to start out with, since there's just the 2 of us. Okay, so are we talking about all the way northeast, the Watchtower? Nope, just a little bit northeast of us. The Aries mission? Yep. Okay. I'm going to start waypoint, and there we go. Should see that in the world. So why don't we head over there and we'll see what we find. All right, I'd like to take the launch pad there, because that is one of my favorite things about this game, how you guys decided to supplement the transportation system. I'm not taking Griffins, I am flying with a glider. Well, I'm going to take a little bit of pride in that one. Was that you? Was that all you? All me. A lot of people. That's funny. I've spent a lot of time dialing in the gliders. All right, so it's launched up, and then we hit spacebar to enable. Oh, it seems to be bugging out for me. Adequately now. Spacebar will actually turn off your gliders. Oh, it used to be to activate it. Now it does it automatically. You don't have to do anything. It'll just okay, well that's better, because I just turned it off and it fell on the ground. I guess this would be a good opportunity for me to pull up my little vehicle here. You're going to be heading up to get up to this mission. This one's up at the top of the cliffs here. Oh, okay, I see. I don't even need to. Let's just go ahead and pass this little egg. But yeah, definitely some significant changes to the class system. The first thing that I noted is that my abilities were completely different from how I left off with this particular assault version. Yeah. These are the default abilities that you'll sort of start out with, and then you can customize them from there by just either acquiring or making new modules based on that whole constraint system we talked about earlier. And one of the cool things is that if you're playing one of the advanced frames, like a Firecat or a
Tiger Claw or whatever.
You actually can use the abilities and weapons from the base Accord frame on your Tiger Claw.
I didn't even realize that, because I really loved the Afterburner, and I was like, man, it's no longer here, so I can equip the Afterburner. That's good.
Correct. Now, having said that, are you running Firecat right now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Firecat actually.
Oh no, wait, I'm Tiger Claw. I'm sorry. I'm the movement focused one.
Yes. That was a little more the old focus than the new focus for the Tiger Claw, but yes. Now, one of the things is, as a dynamic world, anybody can do any events, and it looks like this recon here, Black Dahlia, finished the Aries mission here before we could get here.
What a jerk!
I know. So we have to find something new to do.
I guess we could go to the Crash Thumper mission nearby.
We could. All right.
Or do you have a better idea? Is there something we'd rather see?
Fine. I'll drop a glider pad for us. There we go.
Very nice. All right, so I do not need to hit spacebar, because it's going to automatically. Oh, that is so beautiful. I just love it. I absolutely love. And I mean, there's still vehicles. Like, I still have the LGV, I think it's called. So we can still take that.
Let's go.
So let me ask, how has development been going? I know, as we mentioned earlier, it's really been quite a long process for you guys. I know that you've been going to conventions for many years now. In fact, I remember recently hearing on listening to Giant Bomb's podcast, they were talking about, well, I'm sure FireFall is going to be at PAX this year again. Just sort of joking that it's been so long. Can I ask where you guys sort of are in the development process? Is there any sort of tentative schedule for release?
Well, I mean, we certainly have an internal schedule that we're following.
Just nothing public yet.
Nothing public, because you don't want to change your mind. And,
right.
And everyone's like, oh my god, freaking out.
Yeah.
You know, we've always sort of intended for this to be an iterative process. It's one of the advantages we've got as both a free to play game and as a new company. We believe in iteration. We believe in getting feedback from our player base. So
just doing it right.
Yeah, and if you're gonna be changing the game up, you want to be doing it because you're getting this feedback from the players. That this change or this change is going to make the game better, and it's one of the our sort of our core motto is change everything, create fun, and boy, at the end of the day, that's sort of that's the philosophy of our system,
right?
And most games, when they're doing a beta, they're just showing off the game before they want to sell it to you, and that's not what we want. We actually want to get feedback from our players and want to change the game to make it better for them. So
yeah, that's a good way to do it, so long as it isn't taken too far, because you don't want to listen to every Yahoo, because there's some crazy people out there. All right, so here's our little thing here, and are we?
And it's seeming like, as a true beta. Oh, there we go. There's interact. So we interact with this. That's going to start the data worm.
Awesome.
And we're going to have to defend the data worm here for, looks like, 2.5 minutes.
Okay, we can do that.
We've got some baddies over here. The bandits are showing up already.
Can I ask you, because the assault weapon has changed quite a bit. I used to think it was super overpowered. Now I'm just not sure. So my basic attack is this little thing here. What's up with this secondary attack? It's like a charge up, and the longer it charges, the more damage it does. Is that how it's going to work?
Yep. Now that's the alt fire for the Tiger Claw, right? So each of these advanced frames has its own secondary. That's the one.
Well, that's
doing,
cool.
That secondary you're talking about there is is what we call the Nova Cannon. It charges up to do more damage and a wider AOE.
It looks pretty hilarious, I have to say.
It's really fairly terrific AOE weapon, an AOE attack. And your primary for that gun now is, compared to the old plasma cannon, it's a much tighter AOE. And the projectile moves a lot faster, and you get more of a bonus for direct hit. So that's
good. Yeah, because I think in the past it was a little sort of spam fest. It definitely felt like I could just go herder, slam down left mouse button, and kind of wreck people's faces in PvP. It's good, and a little more skill based is always good. So.
you'll see that a little more with, say, the Firecat weapon, which is a little wider AOE, but a smaller direct bonus on for direct hits.
Yeah.
So you can, that's one of the choices people are going to be making if they decide to go and unlock the Firecat versus unlocking the Tiger Claw. Some people really prefer that strong direct hit. Some people want to, really line themselves up for those AOE attacks.
Oh, completely failed there. That's fine. Well, I must say I am really excited to see some of these changes, and I'm also really happy. This is one of those things where, and I'm not just saying this because I have someone working on the development here. I think I've made it pretty obvious in the past that I really like this game, but I was running into a position last fall where I just sort of ran out of things to do within the world. So it's good to see that you guys are addressing that, and obviously it was just part of you guys wanting to get things fully developed and making sure it was ready for people to see. But so we've got these little events like what we're doing here, and we're going to be rewarded with just resources and XP essentially.
Yes, and the new resource XP, the new resource system, I should say, new crafting system, is just in its infancy. I think we've already had some people who are commenting on the really beginner UI that it has right now, and
for the crafting system.
And it's like we know that it's a very early UI, and it was really just built to be functional so we can test stuff.
Right.
And again, that goes back to the true beta process, right? We could have spent another month building out the UI, and you have to build the UI based on the system that you're building, and we were building the system internally. So, rather than wait an extra month before we deliver the new crafting to the players, we decided, okay, let's show them the ugly UI and
let them play around with it. Yeah,
that's ugly UI, and but we've also gotten some really terrific feedback on that. This stuff is not balanced yet. We knew it was going to be balanced when we sent it out, but we wanted to get it out there, get people's feedback started up sooner rather than later.
All right, so I'm pulling up back the map now just to look for other things that are occurring. One thing I'm noticing right now is that I don't really see any chosen invasions at the moment. Is that because players have pushed them all back, or is it just not showing up on my map?
I'm seeing lots and lots of red control on the map, and this is the chosen warfront. So basically, if that what we're seeing, all these areas that are covered in red are invasions that happened, and basically the chosen have just taken control of these areas. So we've lost all of the SIN data for those areas. We're not getting encounter updates. We're not getting new things to do. If we go thumping in those areas, it's going to be actually really quite dangerous. Because there's probably going to be chosen that show up and spawn nearby. So the chosen warfront is actually one of the significant things to do and open world encounters that went in with that big patch. I don't know if you've seen the patch notes for that patch 3 weeks ago, but it was somewhere between 28 and 35 pages.
I was going to say it was a novel, so I did not set aside the afternoon to read it, unfortunately. Well, that's great then. Why don't we should go ahead and take a look at some of that stuff, some of the chosen warfront.
Why don't we find a tower nearby that is going to be good to try to take back?
I've also noticed something that just picked up on my screen is I got a nearby quest from Oil Spill here, and you guys now have these little waypoint directions, which will sort of ping you towards where the nearby thing is. That's a nice addition to have.
So we knew that what people are used to is that WoW model, right? Here, go to the quest hub, grab some quests, and then go out and complete them and head back to the hub. Part of what we needed to build is this methodology to give people options, right? So you can always pull up your map and find something that you want to do, but we also knew that some people are going to want to be a little more directed than that, right? For us to tell them, hey, here's a couple of opportunities, not to jam it down your throat, but to say, hey, here's something, this might be interesting to you. This might do the gear you're looking for, that sort of thing. And as Chubby says in the chat, the damn chosen are everywhere.
All right, let's go find some and shoot some face. That'll be really fun. And that's actually really exciting to me. So just to clarify for people, because the chosen, which are this invading alien force within the world of FireFall, because they've taken over the surrounding area, typically we would have these syn uplinks, which are like these central hubs where we would be able to see sort of nearby quests and happenings. But since they've invaded, they've taken over those towns and sort of taken control of those syn uplinks. So now we don't know what's going on within the world. Is that precisely sort of how it works?
That's exactly what's going on.
That's a really cool system. So it forces people like, I want to see if there's a quest in this area. We're going to have to go and take back that Sin Tower, so I need to kill a bunch of Chosen.
Yeah, so there's a couple areas we could go, all of them dangerous because there aren't any nearby spawn points.
Nah, dangerous is fine.
All right, dangerous is fine. Let's head over to Northern Shores then. I'll set a waypoint due north of us.
Okay.
We're getting shot at by something.
Oh,
hey, look, a whole bunch of Chosen.
Perfect. Just what we were looking for. You see, we don't even need to go to find them.
But they came to us, which is a little scary, frankly.
Awesome.
Oh, we've also updated the Chosen. There's a whole lot more of them now, a lot of different types.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of snipers in this squad.
I was just gonna say those almost look like just normal sniper players, but no, those are Chosen snipers. All right, fantastic.
Oh,
can I ask you something? Because this is something that I was wondering. We can head our way to the waypoint here.
Yeah, let's grab our bikes and.
So loot, is that individualized? Because I know in situations, say I've been thumping and someone would come by and they would pick up the health on the ground or the ammo on the ground or the resource on the ground. So is it going to permanently be one of those situations where the first person to walk by something to pick it up is the one who's going to get it?
Yeah, so what they're grabbing is the health and the ammo, but not the resources. They're not able to grab those resources.
Okay, so the resources are on an individual basis, but health and ammo is sort of anyone, free-for-all?
Odd basis. And then the resources are actually split amongst the squad as you pick it up. Now, power-ups can be picked up by anyone who needs it, right? So anyone can grab the health up, the health or the ammo if they need it. And then like I said, the resources are picked up on a squad basis. So in fact, only you see that squad, that squad loot. The other players don't actually even see it.
Okay. And we're actually heading just to the edge of melding here. I didn't know we were going this dangerous. This is gonna be.
Oh, the man says dangerous, but
I know. This is going to be interesting to say the least.
Chosen here.
Oh man, I'm right behind you. It's all you, buddy. No, we got it. We'll be fine. Especially you're playing essentially the healer class. Biotech, is that what it's called?
See, here's the thing: is I'm playing a Recluse, and Recluse.
Okay, so more offensive, right?
It is. Yes, this is the very aggressive biotech. Which is not to say that I don't have a heal. I have exactly one.
That's good. One is all you need. All right.
Let's just say keep your eye out for health packs.
Okay, I will do that. All right, so we're gonna be grabbing into the Syn uplink right now, which is going to send down this little thing, and we have to defend.
First summoning a new Syn Tower. We're gonna have to defend this for about 2 minutes from all the Chosen that are gonna be spawning in, and believe me, especially because we're this close. There's a drop pod right there. They are not big fans of us trying to take back.
No. So story-wise with the melding, the way you guys are planning to do it is, I guess that'll sort of be your initial content lock, and then as you release content, the melding, there'll be a story reason for why the melding got pushed back, essentially.
Right, exactly right.
Okay. And that's a cool way to do it, to sort of inherently build in this system where, hey, we're gonna release updates and then this stuff. What are these guys? This guy charging at me here. This is new.
Give you a little melee.
Okay. Well, luckily I've got a jetpack here, so. And all sorts of things. Now, one thing I was also wondering, this seems pretty new, my number 4 ability. That this is like a brand new class of abilities or something?
It is, in fact. It's these are essentially ultimate abilities. They charge up over time as you're in combat.
And that's my little yellow bar that's increasing at the bottom there? Okay.
And so they all do big honking things, like mine is called Necrosis, which is this massive AoE around me. Ouch, that hurts.
This is crazy. There are too many.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
We really...
Those have also gotten bigger and nastier over time. We only have to hold on for another 25 seconds.
All right, we'll be fine.
Let's play a little more defensive, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I had grenades last time I played this game. They might still be in my inventory, but I'm too scared to take the time to even look, so I'll just... Oh no. There we go. That's nice.
Need some healing.
How you doing over there?
Oh,
we're both about the same health, which is not a lot.
Not a lot.
Well, that's what happens when your healer tries to go offensive. Oh no, I'm dead. Okay. Well, I can call for help, but I don't... Are you going to be able to...
We'll see. I've got 150 health.
Alright, that's plenty. There, perfect.
Who needs more than 150 health? Certainly not
And
me.
it's landed. There it is.
Yeah.
From the heavens. These guys aren't going to just disappear, though, so...
Yeah. Now, if we can clear them, then we'll have pretty much taken this place back.
I'm going to go for one of my big attacks here.
Oh yeah, if you're ready.
Oh, that was great. All right, and my 4 is now available, and this is a little...
mine. I'm using mine. So here's my necrosis.
Nice.
Oh, and that only lasted as long as I did. Fortunately, I will respawn here now.
Because we have the Sin Uplink now, we're all set?
Sin Uplink, so we've got the respawn spot.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, dodgy. I fell down below and ended up dying. Well, that is really cool, though. That's great. And again, we asked for the challenge, so
yeah,
this is what we were met with. All right, here we go. Here's the respawn nearby, or sort of nearby. I'll be able to... Oh, that's so much more convenient that the wings for the glider just happen now. Oh yeah. I don't think I spawned nearby at all. I seem very far away.
Still have the squad waypoint, so you go ahead and use that.
Yeah. Yeah, I will have to hop on my vehicle here.
Let's go.
So we've got those little mini events like protect the crashed thumper that we did before, and we have obviously to lock into these sin waypoints. And actually, let me bring up the map here. So do we have to clear that first before it gets cleared on the map, because I'm still seeing dark all around it.
Well, let's see. Actually, around us on the map, or at least around me on the map, is ouch. Oh, snipers are beating me up pretty good now. At least around me on the map, we've cleared it, and so we have sin information in this area. Do you have?
Okay, I see the sin information. I guess I'm just not seeing like the revealed map. It's sort of grayed out around that area, unlike around Copacabana where it's completely revealed.
Gotcha.
That could either be a beta thing or the fact that I haven't played much.
Yeah, you haven't accessed the Sin Tower yet.
That's what it is. Okay.
So this is what's going on.
Right.
I've unlocked all the Sin Towers. So basically, for each of the areas that in the world, you actually have to go to the Sin Tower, uplink to that Sin Tower, and that's going to hook you to it, and so you will get information on that area from that point.
Right. Yeah, I see. I had done that prior to the patch, but it looks like that was all reset.
That all got. This is basically a brand new system and so we have everybody, redo them all now.
Right. Right.
So go ahead and run up to the Sin Tower.
Let's hook on in, and then I'll bring up the map, and that will be.
Oh, it's going to bring it up for you. It's going to show you.
There it is. There it is. Beautiful.
So you notice we've got a crashed thumper, we've got a crashed LGV. Looks like we've got some repulsor amplifiers nearby.
Yeah, let's do one more of these events. Let's do one that we haven't done. So I guess.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's a watchtower a little bit west of us. So
okay.
We'll head up there.
That sounds good.
It looks like there's some players already there, so that'll be even better.
All right. Guess we'll hop on
choppers.
Awesome. So one of the few things I remember, actually, this is a true story. I remember before this game, before I ever had access to the game, I saw one of the first reveal trailers of quite a few years back, and I immediately was really drawn to it. I think the art style is definitely one of my favorite things about this game, and it certainly helps that you guys have some solid shooting gameplay. And like I said earlier in the video, I'm really happy to see that more content has been added, because that was really the only thing that led me to stop playing last fall, was simply because I'd cleared everything.
And we knew that, right? We knew, that one of the big things we were going to have to do was build a whole bunch of content. And one of the, what a lot of the MMO companies are trying to do is sort of race against the players and create content faster than the players can consume it. And frankly, it's not really possible to a large extent.
Oh yeah, I mean that's you see developers. I know, for example, I remember when Star Wars: The Old Republic was launched, and they were saying, "Oh, people won't be in Endgame for months," and then people were in Endgame within 2 weeks, and there was nothing to do, and everyone was complaining. And
right.
I mean, that definitely happens.
You know, is built around that idea that you're never going to be able to create it faster than they consume it, and we wanted to make it a more dynamic world, more dynamic system that the players can go around the world and they find all these different events, and by putting dynamic different types of events in different areas and with different interactions with the world, you're going to create all of these different gameplay moments. Even if it's the same, thumper encounter, you get different creatures depending on where you put it. You get different encounters depending on where you put it. So,
all right, I sort of took the roundabout way, but I'm coming.
Yeah, I see you there on the map. You'll get here. Oh, here come the Chosen. Hello. Yeah, they're definitely coming back for the tower in some force.
Pun intended. All right, here we go. We got an engineer here with us.
Yep. Now, like I said before, the Chosen have gotten nastier, and they're also a lot better at taking towers and taking back towers than they used to be. Nice. There's somebody up top helping us too. I think there's probably 4 or 5 of us here at this tower.
Nice, very nice. And just to show people too, well actually I don't know if I'll be able to walk in. Okay, so I can go to this battle frame station at any time, and I'm currently playing as this ODM Tiger Claw, which is sort of like a specialized version of the Assault, but I can switch to any one of these.
Absolutely. Any frame that you've unlocked, you can switch to in the battle frame station, and you know, they're all very different play experiences.
Right.
Strengths and weaknesses, different sets of abilities. And here in the open world, you can dial them into your heart's content. To swap out, this ability for that ability. Swap it, switch to a different primary weapon, switch to a different secondary weapon.
So what I've got here is the alternate version of a healer, the Dragonfly one.
Dragonfly has a very strong support frame. It's got 3 different support abilities.
It's got some really awesome bloom on the back too.
Yes, it does. And if you're going to go Dragonfly, I'm going to go Rhino, which is our aggressive Dreadnought class. And it looks like we've taken this tower back, so let's take a look at the map again and notice that there's... Yeah, this whole area is opened up now. So it looks like we've got a bunch of players here in the north that are fighting the Chosen Warfront, pushing them back, trying to take back our control of the areas there. And we've got 2 new Aries missions nearby. Would you like to try the 1 difficulty or the 2 difficulty?
Let's give the 2 difficulty a shot. Sure. So the Aries mission right beneath us, there it is. All right.
And so what we're going to do, let's go out the top. So I think I remember where this one...
The bloom is so over the top. It takes up half my screen. It's hilarious. Oh, man. It looks good, though. I like it.
So let's here. I think I recall this. There we go. Some miners were chased off by a swarm of piranhas.
And just so people watching know, the battle frame that Dave's playing right now is sort of like a heavy. You've got this gigantic gun.
This is a heavy machine gun, although this is the laser variant. This battle frame is called the Rhino.
Oh, we've got caves. There were no cave systems last time I played.
Welcome to caves.
Wow, nice.
So, yeah, we've a lot of our new encounters are indoor encounters. Lots of platforming. Heads up, explosives.
Switch to my little grenade launcher here. There we go.
You also notice that critters are dropping little bits and pieces of themselves now as loot.
Oh, this is so cool. There were definitely no caves unless I completely missed them in the past. I certainly don't remember any.
All right, here's the supplies. You want to grab those?
Sure. Yeah, sounds good. Oh, get these buggers on. All right, here we go. Grab the supplies.
And then we'll try and get out of here.
Ah!
All right. Now you're all heavy. But that's okay, because I've got the firepower. You've got the support.
Right. So let me ask you this. I know you guys obviously aren't, you know, your release schedule and all that stuff's internal, but what's next on the table? What's next planned up for the beta? Is there anything that you can talk about there?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, we're going to continue to keep building a lot of new content. That's going to be our focus for quite a while.
So it's sort of different events such as this?
Yes. We got a lot more events that are coming down the pike like this one. You know, we don't want to stop that now. In fact, you know, we've doubled or tripled the size of our designer development team in order to add lots and lots more content. Oh man, these bugs are still coming. We dropped him. Ouch! Okay, one of them just blew up on me.
Where? No, okay, there you go. You're not completely dead.
There's a little bit of health there.
Oh no, yes. I just threw a grenade at you and not health. I'm gonna reload this. Alright, and then we've got I'll drop my 1 here, which will blow up with health.
Oh, lovely, lovely health. Okay,
awesome.
So head over here to the contraption and drop off your supplies.
So more content is in the works, more events like this. We've got the thumping that happens in the game. We've got those chosen invasions where they come down and try to take over Sin uplinks. Any sort of, I apologize if this is something that's well known, I just don't know of it right now, but any sort of like dungeons or end games, I guess what we would consider typical MMO end game, or are you sticking to these more dynamic events for your PvE content?
Well, we certainly, you know, like I said, this is a dynamic game on a dynamic world, and yeah, that's going to be big focuses. But there's no doubt that having sort of instanced dungeon style, if you want to say that, content.
Or I guess like the big engagements with giant monsters, or it's going to be more on the masses scale with tons of chosen coming down and like that.
A little bit of both. I mean, we've got the invasions that happen in the cities.
And I know you guys have those tornado events that take place too.
Right, and
cool.
You know, that's actually one of the first examples of some of our instance content. It used to be just you'd fight the tornado and then it was done. Now, when you defeat the tornado, it actually opens up a portal into an area of the melding, and you actually get teleported to that area. You go through this wormhole, and you end up in a very strange place. But
otherworldly.
Yeah, lots of nifty resources there to acquire if you so desire.
Very cool, very cool. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this up. I'm definitely really excited about a lot of these new changes and that you guys are consistently adding content. And I know there's no set release right now, but I guess for people watching this who are interested, you guys are doing that whole Founders program so they can buy into the beta. Any other ways of accessing the beta and playing the game right now for anyone who'd like to?
Right now, anybody who's got an invite has got beta keys to give out. And there's an awful lot of beta keys that are out there right now.
Yeah.
You know, I think if there's somebody who's interested, you know, first obviously go to the website, go to firefallthegame.com. Sign up for the forums there. That's the same as signing up for beta. And like I said, there's a lot of folks out there with keys now. We've given out lots and lots of keys, and you know, we know we're getting pretty close to that open beta point. But you know, everyone who's interested should just really remember this is still a true beta. This is not just the, you know, right before the game goes out, everybody gets a taste. You know, we're an actual free game, not a $60 and then it's free game. And so, you know, people who just want to taste are going to be able to taste it when the game's, you know, actually, you know, done and ready to go. This is a true beta. We're still getting a lot of feedback. We put stuff into the game intentionally before it's completely polished because we want to get that early feedback.
And I guess just one last thing, with that said, you talk about the free-to-play model. What are you guys doing in terms of monetization? Is it more convenience items and sort of aesthetic things like outfits or hats, or what's your plan there in terms of Red 5 making that money for all of this development cost?
Yeah, I mean, our intention is you know, we don't want to sell power. We want to make it so that anything that you can get through cash, that's considered to be strong and useful is also something you can get through effort.
I guess the good thing too. Sorry to cut you off there, but I guess the really good thing is that the separation between PvE and PvP means that the PvP characters are stuck with their all their abilities and everything. They're all balanced out exactly. So
feeling the balance there,
right? Exactly. Yeah. So
and then we are going to have those convenience items, call them boosters and XP boosters and resource boosters, that sort of thing. We have the aesthetic items, and if we sell other stuff, we want to make sure that these are all things that you can get through effort as well, and not just something that
can only be purchased, right?
Exactly right.
Very awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time. Once again, speaking with Dave Williams, one of the senior designers at Red 5 Studios. Really happy to see the additions here to FireFall, and thank you guys so much for watching. As always, keep watching and keep owning. Take it easy, Dave.